Never heard this before. The Arizona Cardinals are being grossly owned and grossly operated. Let's talk about that next.
The Ben Garcia Show. Yeah. Woo. Best show in the land. Yup. Listen. Come and get your information from Ben Garcia. Get the latest on your quarterback, running backs, and receivers. Tune in, so any other show you don't need them. Any news that he giving out, please just believe him. Giving out the latest prediction and top-notch analysis. Wanna hear the truth, better have thick skin like calluses. The latest move that your team just made can be damaging. The dudes ain't speaking no facts, they just be rambling. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. Yeah. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. The Ben Garcia Show.
What is up, guys? Welcome in to yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Thank you so much for making me a part of your day. However you're watching, wherever you may be listening, thank you for tuning in to the Ben Garcia Show each and every morning at 7 a.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe button, and let's dive right into it, man. We've got a lot of things to get into on this edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Heads up, it's all Arizona Cardinals talk again today. I wanted to get into some Suns preseason talk. Haven't had the chance to do that because the Arizona Cardinals continue to be grossly and incompetently owned. So yesterday, Jonathan Gannon was fined $100,000 for slapping a player on the pads. And maybe I'm on my own. I'm willing to stand on the side of that guy is on his own and we don't know what the heck he's doing. I don't get it. I didn't get it from the jump. I didn't understand the outcry of emotion when the video came out on, I think, 12 News from my guy Cam Cox, really good dude, that Jonathan Gannon was livid with Emari Demercado on the sidelines. I don't get it. I don't know if everyone else has not played contact sports before, but I have. And just so we're clear, this isn't me being macho man. Oh, yep, starting quarterback for my high school teams. No, but I've played contact sports before. I was an athlete growing up. I once had a head coach be so frustrated with someone that he grabbed me by my shirt while sitting down on the bench and legitimately threw me into a game. And I was playing basketball. And in that moment, I thought to myself, well, better not piss off this guy. This happens all the time. I don't get it. I think this is gross incompetency from the Arizona Cardinals trying to make a stand on something that doesn't need your opinion. $100,000 fine for slapping a guy on his chest plate. This isn't Jonathan Gannon, giving some dude a knuckle sandwich. He didn't slap something that was unprotected. He didn't kick him in the shin. This wasn't an Urban Meyer situation where he's kicking kickers. He slapped him on his chest, where his chest plate is, and Emari Demercado didn't feel a thing. But this is the Arizona Cardinals world we live in now. We're going to hold people accountable that should not be held accountable to the extent of Drew Petzing and Emari Demercado. We'll get to that abomination of a press conference yesterday and the day before from Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing, both basically saying that it didn't really matter. It didn't really matter. We didn't want to check out of play calls. We didn't like the play call on 3rd and 6. So you know what we did? We continued with it. We'll get to that in just a second. But this is gross incompetency by the Arizona Cardinals. $100,000 for chewing a player's ass out. And if I'm being honest with you, while I'm also on the hill if I feel like I'm by myself fighting this battle here, I thought Jonathan Gannon let him off easy. I thought about this, but someone else pointed it out. Someone else pointed out a couple of days before I did. I'd kind of thought about it, but I didn't tweet it out. This is not Emari Demercado's first offense of costing the Cardinals a game. People thought I was saying you should cut Emari Demercado for what he did on Sunday. Go back 2 weeks before that, a week and a half before that. He had a walk-in touchdown against the San Francisco 49ers. Walk-in, breadbasket throw, dropped the ball, ran before he actually caught it, and eventually cost the Arizona Cardinals the game as well. That game is completely different if Emari Demercado catches the ball. I can't buy into this idea. My guy Aaron in the chat, I've had way worse as a former college offensive lineman. You know, crap. Because you weren't coddled. This is coddling at its finest. And it is so perfectly Arizona Cardinals, so grossly incompetent that I'm not even surprised. You are fining Jonathan Gannon, and the two main culprits from Sunday, along with Jonathan Gannon, get nothing. Where's Emari Demercado's fine for not holding on to the ball? Like, quick side note, if I'm being transparent and honest with you, I do actually believe Emari Demercado had the ball crossing the goal line, but it was so iffy, 50-50, you said, I said, she said type of thing that I'm totally okay with the referee saying, nah, you deserve to get in trouble for that. And guess what Emari Demercado will likely never do again? Ever let go of a ball while crossing the end zone until he's home. But when I saw this yesterday, someone tweeted it out or someone sent a text in our group chat with all my buddies and said $100,000. Wow. And I immediately knew exactly where it was. The one thing I did not want to do this week, or the one thing I didn't want to do today, when I've got Sun stuff that I want to talk about that I'm not going to be able to get into today because we have this to take care of. When we've got to talk about Kyler Murray potentially not playing in this game. When we've talking about a make or break game for the Arizona Cardinals this week to not save their season, but right the ship a little bit. We're talking about Michael Bidwell. I always wonder, do owners get frustrated when talking heads like myself, who set up a microphone and a camera in their spare bedroom in their apartment, amongst a bunch of other people that all agree you are incompetent, you are inept to run an organization? You thought the fair course of action, Michael Bidwell, for the Arizona Cardinals' abomination on Sunday was not forcing this team to get rid of Drew Petzing, which would have been wrong too. I don't want ownership involved in any of this. It wasn't forcing the team, which again is wrong. I don't want this, but it's better than the actual decision he made. Instead of forcing the team to get rid of Emari Demercado, you slapped the head coach with a $100,000 fine. What the hell does that say to next year's head coaching candidates who could potentially be on the market looking for a job, maybe this year or next year for the Arizona Cardinals, knowing that ownership does not have your back? That is not a small fine. The last time a coach got fined for an altercation on the sidelines with a player was Bruce Arians' $50,000 when I believe he was with Tampa. It's an abomination. It's downright embarrassing. The last thing I want to talk about this week was Michael Bidwell. And if Bidwell forced the coaching staff or management to get rid of Petzing or get rid of Emari Demercado to send a message that Sunday was not acceptable, I would have been annoyed because Michael Bidwell was a part of the situation at all. I do not want him a part of this. But you did stick your nose in the situation. And you know what you did? Slapped your head coach with a $100,000 fine. Showing everyone you don't have your head coach's back. So let me try to spin this in a positive light. And that's not what I try to do. I continuously have to remind people This is not a fan show. Like, I'm not going to wear jerseys while watching. I'm not going to wear jerseys while talking about the games. I'm not going to wear sports memorabilia. I don't want to be a part of those teams. I'm going to do my thing. This is not a fan show. So I have to say that before I say, like, I'm an analyst first. I'm an opinionist first. My fandom to Arizona sports comes way, way last. People say, you don't have biases, because I literally don't. I want to win games. That's what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in telling you how good Kyler Murray is. I'm not interested in telling you how good the Suns are. I'm not interested in telling you, well, Torey Lovello cut him some slack. If I'm the reason why teams feel a little bit of heat to be competent, awesome. And I'm willing to be the bad guy. I'm willing for everyone to tell me that you're Mr. Negative. That's fine. You're not a real fan. Okay, don't care. But let me spin this in a positive light. Let me tell you what I think happened. My guy, Mr. Ben in the chat, good morning, man. Good morning to you too. But let me tell you what I think happened. I think this was Jonathan Gannon trying to rally the troops. I don't think Michael Bidwell is this incompetent as an owner to slap Jonathan Gannon with a $100,000 fine. So I think the fining of $100,000 for Jonathan Gannon for his altercation with Emari Demercado on the sidelines, for slapping him in the chest plate, which again, this is all nonsense. I've dealt with things similar to this in high school when I played contact sports. Anyone that is upset about this is someone who I would think just didn't play contact sports, or they don't remember what contact sports looked like. But I think this was Jonathan Gannon telling the entire locker room, hey guys, even I can be held accountable. I am not taking this lying down. I think there's a very strong possibility Jonathan Gannon, Monty Ossenfort, and Michael Bidwell got in a call or got in a room, and Jonathan Gannon read the room and said, slap me with a massive fine. If I get a contract extension, we'll add that $100,000 extra to the contract later in the next couple of years, which, just so we're clear, he should not be getting one right now. And let me go to the players and say, even I need to be held accountable. Before I hold all of you accountable, I'm not going to fight this fine. I deserve this fine. And it's not like it's a small thing. It's $100,000 for a head coach who does not make Kyler Murray money. I think this was Jonathan Gannon's attempt to try to rally the troops a little bit. Attempt to try to save the season, if you will. Instead of firing Drew Petzing, instead of firing Emari Demercado, he said, nuh-uh, this one's on me. This one's on me. And although I applaud the leadership efforts, this didn't need to be done. This didn't need to be done. This is a distraction. But I think that's what makes more sense to me. I think Jonathan Gannon was trying to take one on the chin for the team, accept this $100,000 fine as symbolism to everyone in the locker room. This one's on me. I lost my cool. I lost my professionalism. I lost my own accountability. Emari Demercado is not the reason we lost this game. He's a reason, but I'm a reason too. And I think that's what happened. Either that or Michael Bidwell is grossly incompetent, because that did not warrant any fine, much less $100,000. Double the fine of when Bruce Arians got into it with a player on the sidelines when he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So if I'm trying to make sense of it, I think that's where it is. Okay. For my guy Claymore Jones in the chat, with a record of 14-25, along with striking a player twice, Bidwell didn't go far enough. He should fire Gannon yesterday. The only reason I've seen a lot of people say Jonathan Gannon should be fired. Like right now, he should be fired. The only reason why I'm against firing Jonathan Gannon right now is because it looks incompetent and it looks like you're poorly managed and that your owner has a quick trigger finger. If you want really good head coaches to sign up for this, coaching job, they don't want to see that your owner is willing to fire you mid-season while your kids are still in school, while we're unable to put your house on the market. Coaches don't like that. That's a Jets, that's a Browns thing. You don't want to be in that space. Why do you think the Cowboys never fired Mike McCarthy last year during midway through the season? Like, they didn't want to do that. It looks incompetent. And so good organizations don't do that. So it would have to get grossly mismanaged to have to fire Jonathan Gannon in the season, like worse than it already is. So that's why. But that's the only argument I have for not firing Jonathan Gannon right now. And because sleep on it for a couple of days, it does feel a little rash. Until we saw the press conference with Jonathan Gannon. I know Teo Mackey, AZ Central. He's came on and done a bunch of stuff with me and my guy Jody Ayler on Fox Sports 9:10 a.m. when I was doing radio this time last year. And Teo Mackey came and did a lot of stuff, some beat reporting stuff with us on the air. I don't give out like a lot of, praise on this show. I feel like it needs to be earned, not given. Teo Mackey was going after Jonathan Gannon with some really good freaking questions. And so this narrative on Monday morning that I forgot what account put it out there, and I don't want to shout him out, so I'm not going to. But there was an account. This started with the Phoenix Suns sphere of it's the media's fault the team sucks. And then it went to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Oh, it's the media's fault. Ketel Marte isn't playing very well right now. You hurt his feelings. And now it's reached gross, like just dumb reasoning for why the Arizona Cardinals are where they are. The narrative that the Arizona Cardinals are bad because, for whatever reason, right? The Arizona Cardinals are a bad organization because the media, has hyped up this team and made you fall for it. If you fell for this team, you fell for this team on your own accord. Don't blame me. Don't blame PH at X. Don't blame AZ Sports Fan. Don't blame Arizona Sports. You fell for it. Hold yourself accountable. Those accounts, there's another account that I don't like, but I'm not going to, again, shout them out because I don't want to fight with someone on Twitter. I have no interest. Those accounts will always do anything but blame the coaching, the ownership, and the players that failed you, not myself with a microphone in my spare bedroom in my apartment. I can assure you, it wasn't me. If you fell for this team, you fell for it, not me. Or I didn't do it to you. But that gross, I keep on using the word gross and incompetent. We got to come up with something else. But that baffling press conference on Tuesday morning or Monday morning, where Jonathan Gannon said there would be no repercussions for Emari Demercado and Drew Petzing outside of maybe a stern talking to, is so Arizona Cardinals it hurts. Instead of holding the culprits accountable and telling everyone in the locker room, this cannot happen again, nothing happened. Drew Petzing still got a job. If you think Drew Petzing should lose his job, totally fair thought process. However, Drew Petzing's not losing his job this year. If he's not losing his job being a conservative offense against the Titans and eventually it biting him in the ass, he's not losing it, guys. He's not losing his job. I'm not for that. He should have been fired in the offseason, but it's just what's going to happen. I'm just warning you now. He's not going anywhere. And then not cutting Emari Demercado, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Well, you're down a bunch of running backs. Bam Knight, Zonovan Knight, and Michael Carter played the majority of snaps in that game. You're telling me I can't go find another third down running back on the chopping block? You already signed Dearness Johnson amongst other players. But no, because there's no accountability. None. And someone said to me, well, why wouldn't you cut Marvin Harrison Jr.? He dropped a couple of passes. Can we not be ignorant? He's the 4th overall pick. You're not cutting the 4th overall pick. It's just stupid. Like, that's just crazy. I can't remember who said that, but someone said it. But it's just crazy. But this is what it is. This is what it is. The Cardinals told you on Sunday, they looked at you, they spit in your face, they pushed you down, and they kicked you in the ass. And you know what they said? This is acceptable. This is acceptable. Losing to a winless Titans team that was inept, had no business winning that game. Like the old narrative, did the Cardinals lose it or did the Titans win it? Mostly the Cardinals just lost it. I can't say I'm surprised. I can't say I'm surprised. Nothing's going to change until people want to change. And Jonathan Gannon did not feel like Sunday was as big of a deal as we all did. That's what he told you on Sunday. And it's why I've been telling you for the last month and a half now, since the season started, after week 1, this is no longer a Drew Petzing issue. This is a Jonathan Gannon issue. I don't care how good his defenses are. Guess what? Drew Petzing is a horrendous offensive coordinator. He's conservative. He's inept. He has no interest on throwing the ball downfield. And each and every week, Jonathan Gannon has said, this is acceptable. I'm okay with it. And I'm actually going to celebrate it. It's tough, man. It's tough. You know, we got a Titans fan in the chat, Joe Blocco. As a Titans fan, we've been wanting a new head coach. We wanted the head coach fired since week 1. Brian Callahan should have lost his job. And instead, no one did on Monday. It's a bad place for the Cardinals to be. And the Cardinals saying, and Drew Petzing and Jonathan Gannon saying, yeah, we didn't like the play call in 3rd and 6, while still having a timeout and choosing not to use it, go back to the drawing board and try to put this game away against a fine Titans defense. Not great, not special, just fine. And then admitting it to everyone. What is going on in the Arizona Cardinals coaching staff? What is going on? You both hated the call. You both hated the call, and you still went with it. It's why I told people, Kyler Murray needs to beat Cam Ward, like just on his own. He needs to beat Cam Ward. People would tell me, like, the better quarterback on Sunday was not Cam Ward. Yes, it was. Kyler Murray had Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, better offensive line, and it's not close, and couldn't beat Cam Ward. Cam Ward had Calvin Ridley. And who else? Tony Pollard? You're going to try to tell me to my face that Tony Pollard is 10 times better than Michael Carter? He's better. He's not that much better. Like Cam Ward won the game and did it with worse weapons. He was the better quarterback. But the fact that we're in year 7 and Kyler Murray isn't allowed to check out of a horrendous 3rd and 6 call, and Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing both disliked the call on 3rd and 6 and still went with it, tells you everything you need to know about the Cardinals season. Instead of calling a timeout, going back to the drawing board, dialing up something creative, anything creative, 4 verticals Madden style would have been more creative than what they did. They just went with it because they're a conservative football team. And whether Jonathan Gannon wants to admit it or not, he was quietly saying to himself, the defense can hold this team. And you know what? They didn't. So everyone wears blame for this loss. It's not just on Kyler Murray. It's on Jonathan Gannon. It's on Drew Petzing. It's on Kyler. It is a gross, incompetent situation right now. And I don't know if it's going to get better. I'd probably lean towards it's not. I can't buy into the Titans being the wake-up call. They were a winless team, a hapless team, and they walked into State Farm Stadium and took your chain. And if Kyler Murray can't go on Sunday, I know even myself wants to see how Jacoby Brissett can run the offense. It is no question that Kyler Murray has a higher ceiling than Jacoby Brissett. Maybe Brissett could be more consistent. I don't know that that's the case either. But the Cardinals are not walking into Indy on Sunday with Jacoby Brissett and beating the Colts. And it's not because they just lost to the Titans. It's not anything like that. It's because with all the noise coming out of last week's loss, we are talking about anything but football. We are 26 minutes in, and I am barely telling you about my concerns if Kyler Murray doesn't play in this game because of his foot injury. I think he will, but I can't buy into the Cardinals are going to beat the Colts on Sunday. They'll be on the road, early window game, and it's been nothing but distractions the entire week. Nothing but distractions. And so now you're telling me the sole focus is football and getting back on track? All we've been talking about this week is, why isn't Drew Petzing fired? Why are Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing saying that a 3rd and 6 play call to end the game against the Titans was bad? They thought it was bad and never changed it. Why is Emari Demercado still on this team? $100,000 fine to Jonathan Gannon. That's what we're discussing. We're not talking about ways to exploit the defense of the Indianapolis Colts. We're not talking about the differences between Jacoby Brissett and Kyler Murray. We're talking about distractions. And if you think this team is anything but distracted right now in the worst way, then I'm sorry. I just don't agree with you. And so it's frustrating. Very frustrating. My wife told me yesterday, I told her, I go, yeah, I forgot who it was. They go, someone got upset with me in the chat because I don't read the chat when I'm doing a show. And I told her, I was like, well, like, I've got a show planned. Like, I'm trying to deliver the message and then we'll get to the chat. And she's like, you should take the last 5 minutes every day, 5 to 7 minutes to read the chat. And I'm like, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. So the 17 of you that are still in here, if you got a question, throw it in the chat right now. I will read it, but also I'll be looking at the things right now as well. Claymore Jones is too late to rally the troops. Agreed. Philos, German Cards fan here. Man, I'm so pissed by the current state of the Cardinals and all the decision-making. I even stay awake late, often 2 a.m. here, to watch that crap each week. I'm really sorry, man. I don't know what to say to that. That is crazy that you're saying. Why are you a Cardinals fan in Germany? You could have picked any team. God, man, you might just like the pain. But I appreciate you turning in, brother. That is really tough. Third stringers should be expandable. Joe is absolutely right. Been saying that all week. We talked so much about Emari. We forgot that Rabbit. Yeah, I'm not going to kill Rabbit for fumbling. Like, yes, the thing is, like, that's Rabbit's first offense, right? And you can buy into him, like, kind of juggling the ball and fumbling it. Like, I can buy into that. The Cardinals should have recovered it, and they didn't. But, like, also, yeah, that can't go out of the way either. The $100K fine was in response to social media outcry. 100%. The $100,000 fine was in response to social media outcry. I forgot to mention that. If that video isn't put out on Twitter, is there a fine? Probably not. And Aaron Van Buren, that was me. I thought it was you, Aaron, that had said, like, you want me to read chats more, and you're absolutely right. I probably should do that. So that's what I'm doing here. So reading your guys' chats at the end of the show, but it looks like that is all we have. But I will continue to do that. For all of you in here, we are live Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 7 a.m. talking all things Arizona sports, but it's all about relevancy right now. I'm not just going to talk about a team because I haven't talked about them in a while. We're talking all things Cardinals. I want to get into some Suns on Friday, but the ASU plays a massive game on Saturday. Probably going to talk about ASU on Saturday, as well as some Arizona Cardinals football on Friday as well. So I will see you guys at 7 a.m. on Friday, breaking down the Arizona Cardinals, Indianapolis Colts game. Hopefully we're actually talking about football and not nonsense off the field, as well as Arizona State going up against Utah. We'll talk about that on Friday as well. So do me a favor. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. DM me At me. Let's talk. Let's debate football. I love being able to talk with you guys. And also, guys, over the last over the last year, my brand has been exploding to my mini degree. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I can come off as the hothead, the guy that comes on here and starts screaming at teams, and that's what I want to do. I tell people my goal is to be the Nick Wright, Colin Cowherd, that area of opinionism and analysis, but for local sports. I'm not here to be a fan show. I want to be the guy that holds the team accountable. So that's kind of what I try to do. So with that being said, guys, hit that like, share, subscribe, and follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. Thank you so much for being here. For Mr. Bennett, for Aaron, for Joe, for Omnideus, for Claymore Jones, who's in here, and my guy Philo all the way over, and Van Heath, and Philo obviously all the way over in Germany. Appreciate you guys. Have a heck of a week, and I will talk to you guys on Friday at 7 a.m.